water treatment plant.
I'll support.
There we go. Any other discussion?
No.
Sue? Oh.
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl,
Yes.
Councilmember Yankovic,
Yes, because it was stated so well.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
and Councilmember Kingfield.
Yes.
All right. Board and commission reports. Cliff?
I took notes this time. I went to the chamber board, the golf outing, they raised $8,000 for the Ivan K. Blau Scholarship. I know it's a subject near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. That scholarship is only for people going into the trades. Riverwalk, they pretty much killed it on Thursday, as anybody that was there knows. They battled with some hot weather, but it still was up about $5,000 for the year. So that's their #1 fundraiser, and it was good.
Good. Mr. Sullivan?
No, the Arbor Board met, and Mr. Regan is willing to serve back on it, so you can take that off that list if you wish to. Dan has his work cut out, trying to find us what kind of trees we can plant downtown and around the city, and also what kind of plaques we're going to standardize when somebody wanted to donate a particular tree, so we get some uniformity on what we're doing. So look for the next one.
Good. Any issue with the Arbor Board related to the storms? You know, they hadn't had to,
No,
I hadn't heard of any damage related to our trees.
Yeah, there were quite a bit. We had damage at
Fairgrounds.
the fairgrounds.
The fairgrounds,
yeah,
right?
I did see that, yeah.
All
And
right.
some of those ornamental trees that we plant aren't real tough, and they tend to splatter off branches. I think maybe going forward, we could make some better choices.
Well, Dan's got, like I said, he's got work cut out for him.
People learn about trees. Great.
The Lowell Area Recreational Authority met last week, and we are working with Harding Enterprises to do some sealing of our trails to make sure that they stay in good condition. A few areas have some cracks that need to be cut out and patched, and they are doing that. Unfortunately, unless someone here at the council has a big check, we're coming up a little bit short on our money that we need for phase 2 of the trail. And so our plan now, Dave, I believe, is to withdraw our application on October 1st or shortly after that and table it to next year. I don't know if you want to address that any further.
Yeah, just to put a positive spin on it, you recall that the project's at $6.5 million. We have raised $5 million or had commitments. We're short that last $1.5 million. In order to secure the DNR funds for this year, we have to have all the commitments in by October 1st. We've got a few big fish on the line, but we're not going to have them in by October 1st. So rather than make the DNR go through the review process, we respectfully withdraw the application and recommend that the city and Laura do that, reapply next year. You recall that the MDOT funds are for 2022, so we probably have another year to do this. But a lot of folks are working behind the scenes trying to raise that extra $1.5 million.
This doesn't cause us to lose anything that's already been committed, right?
No,
Okay.
but this is the second year that we've had to do this. This year, we started out with a $500,000 commitment from Meyer, so it was a positive year in fundraising. So this will be the last year, so we really need to put the steam to the engine and get it wrapped up this time next year.
Is that to connect the park and then go this way?
This is the plan that will start on the west side at Main Street, connecting to the new township park and the existing trail by the Ford dealer there, and work our way through Stony Lakeside Park and down through the fairgrounds and across the flat, across the Grand, and make us Trail City the center of Michigan.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. And that was it.
All right, Mark.
And planning commission, it was pretty light. We asked Andy from Williams Norwich to start taking us to class, as to say, to help make the board members that don't go to the classes like we do for MML, so that they can be better at what they do. And when we have light meetings, it'll be a welcome change instead of we're in, we're out, and we're gone. So we're going to do some positive things. Light and power didn't go as long as it normally does, so Perry's getting better. But he knew he had to get up for Pancaro, so it was a shorter meeting, and just went over a lot of stuff. It's just mundane, everyday stuff that goes on over there, but the guys over there do a good job every day for us. That's it.
Can I have one thing, Marty? The Light and Power Board did take action and has officially notified, I notified Mike last week, but that the line shack building on the river that technically the city owns, but Light and Power is paid for, maintained, there was unanimous action that they would be willing to depart with that building and sell that facility. So that's the first time in 10 years they've had that decision. So it's ultimately up to Mike and the council whether or not they want to put out an RFP to sell that facility.
I didn't know that you
Yep, I did tell
directed
Mike.
Mike, so
Yep,
that's why I
yep.
didn't bring it up.
Yeah,
because-
late afternoon Friday after the council pack went out, so I got the call. And, I'll bring it back to the council for the next meeting for discussion.
We tried that a few years ago, I thought, right around budget time, and there was some pushback from the Light and Power Board that they just weren't ready to part with it yet.
There definitely was. Ultimately though, Ryan and I have determined there's no need now or any time in the future for Light and Power to own, operate, maintain that building. It's costing us money just in normal maintenance that we could use in elsewhere, and we're gonna let the council determine if they want to do something with it or if they want to sell it to the private sector, and they can do something with it. So
Didn't you just put like $10,000 into it?
yeah, we've done a roof, we've done a lot of like masonry work. So on the back side of the building, there's even more concrete or masonry work that needs to be done. I know we painted it in the past, so it's just costing us money at this point.
It's east. I tried for you, Steve, sorry. Is that just like that? Okay. We had fire authority last Monday, and that proposal Greg came, and the township had some people there. The proposal thing came up again for the consultant, so they decided on one of the consultants, contingent on all three, or two of the three municipalities approving the funding. So next meeting, I'll have that official proposal for us all to go over, and we can get a consensus as to what we want to do and discuss things going forward. Vision, I think, is tomorrow, isn't it?
Vision's tomorrow.
Yeah, Vision's tomorrow. I think that's it. That's all I got. City managers report.
A couple items of note. Wednesday evening, we had our storms that came through town. The areas that got worst hit were the Valley Vista subdivision and the area by the fairgrounds, but also there was a path between there in that neighborhood going, I would say, southeast, and there was some tree damage at Schneider Manor and in that subdivision as well. Our staff our DPW staff is still working. They're doing a really good job trying to get the debris cleaned up. I went out the night of the storms, and we had Suez was out at the lift station, putting the generator on the lift station, and Light and Power was putting power back in Valley Vista, and did a really good job. From what I understand, they worked till about 4 a.m. on Wednesday or Thursday morning, and then came back 8 hours later and finished. There was minimal outages at that point, but we were able to get all the outages corrected, and they worked very diligently in trying to resolve the situation. So my hats off to them. As I mentioned earlier, we will be having our first informational meeting on Wednesday. Hopefully it's well attended. Hopefully people can at least understand what is being carved out for them to consider. I do read the internet and all that, and there's a lot of things out there that just isn't accurate. And for example, a spending problem, I keep hearing that, and I don't. If we're spending money, wasting money in the budget, I really don't know about it. And so that's just something we'll be talking about. Also, our next council meeting is October 7th. We will have a committee of the whole at 5:30 with MDOT, as long as the state of Michigan doesn't shut down. I understand that layoff notices have been sent to certain state employees already, so I don't know how that pertains to MDOT, but I did read an article today that I believe like 48,000 notices were sent out. So I don't know if they're still, if they're gonna have a budget by October 1st, if they're gonna shut down. I don't know the answer, but we'll know probably about 2 weeks. So that's all I have.
All right. Appointments, I think it's pretty easy consensus for Jack Reagan to hang out on the outer board. All right, and we don't have any other applications? Council comments, Mr. Canfield.
I think it's great, the DPW is helping out our residents with picking up trees that, it's a problem for people when they have damage like that. And I know we're short on dollars to do this and manpower, but it's great. And one of the things that's good about Lowell is where you guys step up. So thanks, Dan, for directing your guys and Mike. I know you lose a couple days doing that stuff, but it really helps our citizens out.
Mr. Chambers.
I'd like to congratulate our water department on winning that award. That's a huge, huge feat. Light and Power wins MP3 awards, third one, right?
R.
Or RP3,
Yep.
excuse me. And that's a huge thing in the industry for them. So it's good to see our town providing winners and, things we're doing it right. We got clean, safe water. There's communities around here that they don't know and they don't have it. So we're very, very fortunate. And I want to go to Florida with them and cheer them on. Can I?
You once, yeah, you can do anything once.
I'll make a motion that Marty can go to Florida.
I would never let Marty go to Florida by himself, so I'm gonna have to. That's a whole other thing. Huh?
That's a
That's
council,
your job.
council whole
It's
meeting.
not our job how to pay for it, that's your job. Better not be no Motel 6 either. Cliff. Like that.
It was a good weekend in Lowell. Greg and I were driving people around at the, chauffeuring them to and fro at the Pink Arrow game. I got to interact with a bunch of people that weren't from Lowell, and it was really fun to hear them bragging about us and about our football team and the Pink Arrow thing. And Saturday, Julie was volunteering up at the Fallsburg Festival. There was an hour, 20-minute wait to get in. I had people coming in the store that weren't willing to wait, but it was jammed out there. I think it was a record day for them. So it was good being Lowell.
It always is. Jim?
I'll say a thing about Fallsburg Fest. I helped the Lowell Women's Club set up and tear down, and the place was extremely busy. So I know they sold out of everything, so it's a great turnout.
Well, yeah, we went out to Pink Arrow on Friday night, and I was very impressed with the Greenville turnout and how engaged they were in everything we were doing. They were really supportive, and obviously you couldn't find people to do a better job than Perry and Teresa do out there. And I talked to Greg Pratt a little bit about it. And it's probably the coolest thing I've been a part of, and I'm glad that it's here. I don't know, the Fallsburg Festival, the fire department was short on guys for their chicken barbecue, so I offered to sit there and take tickets, and they were sold out by 2 o'clock on Sunday too, of all the chicken. So that's a cool thing they do out there, and find a way to get that into the city, but that's another thing. Where we go next? All right, motion to go into closed session to discuss pending litigation between the City of Lowell and Unity School investors.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Any discussion on it? Sue?
Councilmember Salzweedl?
Yes.
Councilmember Yankovic?
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers?
Yes.
Councilmember Canfield?
Yes.
And Mayor DeBoer?
Yes.